Yo, yo, yo.
Hey!
No.
It's your boy, Hollywood.
Yeah, but see, you didn't do it like me. You got to give it the...
Do not.
Yo, yo, yo. It's your boy, Sweet Sauce.
You're miserable. You're miserable to deal with. So the title of this episode is going to be Kluge Sucks Ass.
If you didn't notice, ladies and gentlemen, we like to just dog the members of our team.
Yeah.
Just because.
100%. Kluge yesterday, so Sunday, promised, and if you watch the stream or go back and watch the stream.
Also, disclaimer, Kluge, I love you. Go ahead.
I don't love you.
Even though you romped me in fantasy this week.
You guaranteed a win at Talladega last night for me while we were streaming. You know where he finished?
Mm-hmm.
9th.
Damn, what happened?
Qualified second, I believe.
So he's got to qualify shitty to do better.
Yeah, that's the problem. Every time we qualify like shit, we win.
There you
Qualifies P17. Here's the win. Qualify P2. 19th, 9th. Come on, Kluge. Get better. Do better, please.
go. Kluge, I know it was your spotter. It's okay.
I got him through a wreck. Don't even try that shit. I got him through multiple wrecks, multiple times, multiple days.
Squeep.
He causes wrecks, so I can't really do anything about that.
Kluge, he's throwing heat at you right now, dog.
Nah, love you, man. You're all right.
Where's Sean been?
His internet's still down.
Oh, that's why he hasn't been talking
like
a lot?
Super inconsistent, yeah. So, we'll see.
Sean, I miss you.
See if he ever shows up.
I miss you, Sean.
Or if he's quitting us and going to a better opportunity. Inside joke between me and him.
I was going to say, don't scare me like that. Fuck.
Actually, I don't need this way. Yeah. So Talladega was yesterday, like the real Talladega. Stupid.
Was that a picture? The picture you posted, was that real?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
From yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah. Talladega is always stupid because Talladega and Daytona are always stupid because it's anybody can win at that point because it's just so random. And
What makes an oval track random?
so it's not oval. Well, it's oval, right? It's an oval. Like most of the tracks are oval. It's not because it's an oval that it makes it random. It's because it's Talladega and Daytona, which are considered the two fastest tracks in the series.
Because
It's like plate racing or whatever you want to call it. But it basically makes the cars are faster. They have longer distance to travel, and so there's no braking. Like most other tracks, you either lift or brake.
Oh,
Or
so you
can
could just
power
floor
through
it and
You can power through on some tracks, like obviously, but this one you're flooring it the entire time.
oh, so you get some stupid stuff.
Yeah. Or if you're behind someone, generally, if you're not pushing and you're getting pulled, you can generally kind of lift a little bit, but for the most part, you're kind of flying. At
Yeah.
least from my experience of racing, you're flooring it the entire time. But in doing that, they kind of this aero package that they made for these allow even the shitty cars to maintain the pack.
Just cooking.
Yeah.
Nice.
Where normally we see after like 10, 15 laps, they start to catch the lap cars.
Yeah.
They don't really catch lap cars in this until, the pack splits up and stuff like that. But for the most part, you're kind of always in a pack.
Yeah.
So there's always big wrecks and stuff like that. And there were just a lot of stupid wrecks and stupid things. And I'm not going to name a name, but they destroyed Ryan Blaney, my boy.
I want a name.
Oh, we talk about him too much. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The one, the only.
The one, the only.
He gets a new team and then he dumpsters people.
He was racing pretty well, but again, that's the only place he can really race well in that car. And Daytona, and he went up to try and make it 3 wide instead of 2. He was in second, so and there's a pack coming, and he's like realizing the high pack was coming faster than the pack he was with.
Right, so he tried to
line. So he jumped up to go with that line, get a push, and try and go to the lead. Well, that line kind of fizzled out quickly, and then they were all kind of trying to blend back into two lines. Well, in doing so, he came down the track, not clear, and got spun in or got hit by Ryan Preece because he was an idiot and wasn't clear. Came up the track and just clobbered Blaney. Clobbered him. They're best friends.
I kind of want to see this.
There's plenty. I'll show you plenty of video of.
I'm gonna have to pull one up right now.
And the ending was.
You keep talking. I'm gonna pull this up.
Okay,
I'm listening.
The ending was probably one of the dumbest endings I've ever seen, and I didn't get to watch it, so I was talking to Kluge about it, and he goes, "I'm not talking to you at all until you watch it." So I watched it, and it was the stupidest thing because 2 people got penalized that they should have gotten penalized. I guess they could have. I understand why they got penalized, but the person who should have got penalized the most won the race and didn't get penalized.
Nice.
I'll wait for you to. Do you have the video? Or?
I think so. I don't want any sound to come through, so I'm just gonna watch this. It's only like 1 minute, but
yeah.
All right, which one is he?
Bubba?
Yeah. What's
like the bluish purple car, the 43.
Okay.
He should be at the top of the screen.
Why this started from a roll, so I don't know.
What?
It started back a ways.
Oh.
Trying to. Does it speed up here? Which one's Blaney?
It's a 12 car. Bright yellow. As per usual. Okay, this is a terrible time for you to watch this.
Oh.
Okay.
Jeez.
So,
dude.
at the end of the race, that was Bubba just trying to make something happen that wasn't even close to being able to be happening.
Yeah.
At the end of the race, it ended up going into like overtime, NASCAR overtime, which is like a shootout.
Yeah.
And Matty D, who hasn't had the greatest of luck or the greatest of cars, but he's a good driver, was up into first, led the restart, coming around, was driving all over the track, just trying to block, just out of desperation. He even said it himself. He was like out of pure desperation, trying to get the win. Forces some guys to go underneath the yellow because he came down on him a little bit.
Yeah.
Which happens, and he got penalized for that, which is understandable. Like, he forced someone off the track, essentially.
Yeah.
However, there's a very clear rule saying that if you are under the yellow line, you cannot pass people. And Denny Hamlin passed like 2 or 3 people.
Oh.
He was forced underneath, but he had a very clear chance of going back up, in my opinion.
So who got that dub?
Denny. I think he could have gone back up on the track safely. There was enough room, as long as he didn't fuck it up.
Yeah.
And he could have competed that way, but when you go off underneath the yellow, you're essentially taking the most inside lane on a high school track.
Well, that would be like in football if you're not allowed to run out of bounds as a defender and then run back in and hit somebody.
Yeah.
Like, that would be the same thing. You can't use the outer bounds of the track to make an advance and then come back in and be like, oh fuck, look at
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it goes into one of our questions later on from Josh about whether that should be penalized or not. And I absolutely think it should be.
What do you do at this point? Take the win away from him?
No, they should have done it during the because they had talked about it.
Yeah.
The entire time they were like, you can't go below from the day one of Talladega, so Truck Series.
Yeah.
If you go below the yellow line and make a pass, you're penalized. If you force someone down below the yellow line, you're penalized. And now all of a sudden, because Denny Hamlin, and he just announced a huge deal, and all this stuff from Denny Hamlin, and the fact that he's racing for a championship with Kevin Harvick, they're trying to make it. This is kind of a theory, so don't take it too harshly. I think they're just trying to make it close as possible with the people battling, because Harvick's pretty clear in the lead right now.
Yeah.
Until yesterday, Denny was struggling these past 2 or 3 weeks, and so he kind of lost a little bit on him. Not much.
Yeah.
But he lost a little bit on him, and so I think them not penalizing him was them just saying, you're in the playoffs. Yeah, you're fine. Well, we understand why you did it that way, but again, they could probably see it as, you're going 200 miles an hour. You don't want to come back up on track. I understand that, but
well, yeah, because he's just gonna say, I couldn't do anything.
Right. I'm pretty sure there was a clear chance of him coming back up and making moves that way.
Interesting.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens going forward. But in my opinion, should have been penalized because I also just don't like Denny Hamlin.
Well, yeah, but
I don't hate him. I shouldn't say I hate him. Yeah,
if there's like you said though, there's opportunity for him to come back up and fine. Yeah,
I think it's shitty that he gets to be able to win and other people can't that way. We got into a fight with some guys on iRacing. So iRacing doesn't have that rule. They're like the below the yellow line thing.
Yeah.
So Kluge tried something underneath the yellow, coming to the start finish line.
Is that what the whole talk in the Discord about the protest was?
Yeah. And this guy. So we went underneath him. Kluge lost control a little bit. It's a bumpy track. Came up and hit him a little bit and spun him. He ended up getting, I think, Kluge got 5th. After all said and done, I think.
Kluge causing some shit.
Right? Or did he... Is it the track that... Or is it the race that he got 19th? He got... Basically, he started a huge wreck.
Yeah.
But pure accident. Like, he was just trying something. And even the pro iRacers who are in the E-Cola Nationals... Or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
NASCAR series. E-Cola? No. E-NASCAR Coca-Cola series. Jeez. Sorry. E-Coli.
Yeah.
They've got... They actually... When they did it this past week, they went underneath the yellow line and won that way. Or tried to win that way. So this guy's fighting us, just screaming, "What? How stupid are you?" And Kluge's like, "Dude, I told you 100 times. I didn't mean to come up and hit you. I'm just trying. I'm trying to win.
Yeah.
I'm trying something, and it's not a rule in iRacing. Well, it's frowned upon. Yeah, cool. All right, next. And basically, so we went around. We went around the track after the checkered flag. And he just came and smoked him.
Nice.
No, the other guy came and smoked us.
Yeah.
Okay. And so he's like, you know, what you did was protestable. And Kluge had brought up, like, I have you on footage, like, hitting me, which is even worse. So try.
We're streaming, bitch.
Yeah. And we saved the replay, and it was funny. But
is he still in protest with it?
He hasn't been protested yet, because the guy immediately stopped talking to us after he said, I have footage of you hitting me, so try it. I'll just send that to him.
When you try to big dick somebody, ladies and gentlemen,
yeah,
just remember there's always a bigger pee-pee.
That guy was an asshole.
His name's going on the list.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
We need the hit list shirt.
We do. I can't put people's names that don't know. I can't put their names on it.
Well, they're not like...
I can put their like...
Oh, they're like...
First or last. I can't do both. So I'll do Magnus.
Yeah,
Magnus
see, I was
number
thinking,
1.
Yeah.
Most wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need most wanted shirts.
That's true.
Magnus.
One of them is going to stumble across this at some point, and they're going to be like, the fuck?
Wait, I'm Magnus.
Yeah. The fuck they talking about?
You have...
So I sent Tom a video this morning. And I just want to get the girl's name right. NHRA News.
Pruitt, I believe it was a Pruitt, which is a relatively famous racing family. If it's that Pruitt's, I don't know. If
Leah Pruitt, I think, and I want to just double check this. I think she married into the family.
I don't know if it's is it the normal racing family, like the Marshall Pruitt who does a podcast and magazine, takes pictures.
That I don't know.
Which also has an IMSA relative, Scott Pruitt, I think is his name, and Bill, one of our drivers, just the team he works for, their driver just passed him on the all-time list or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that I don't know. I think, yeah, so, used to be Leah Pritchett, but it's Leah Pruitt now.
Not far off.
It might be because of a divorce. I don't know. Anyway, Leah Pruitt. She's a NHRA drag racer. She got a Top Fuel dragster.
She was racing. Is she the one in the Mopar car?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's got a Mopar dragster.
Dodge Boys.
One of the few female Top Fuel dragster drivers, which is pretty good. And then she was doing decent. I don't remember which round it was or if it was qualifying or what, but She had a nasty crash. Disgusting.
It wasn't even like a crash. It just blew up.
Yeah, well,
It folded.
yeah. So if you look at the video, she's going down the track, and then all of a sudden, like, obviously it happens fast. So like you see it, and then all of a sudden, her car like picks up like fucking a piece of paper in the back of your truck when you're going down the road. It just like picks up and flies away.
Wish I had a straw.
Yeah,
So
it went from and it like kinked.
Yeah, and it turned into a triangle.
Yeah, and the front flew off, and then obviously, like, the car is designed like that. Like, the cockpit is really stable and supported.
Yeah.
And they used to be open. They're all closed now. I don't know if you noticed that. They have a thing that closes now.
No, what I remember is just like the windshield.
Right. Yeah.
And so now it's like a top.
Yeah,
down.
it's a thing that comes down. Yeah. So it's like it literally looks like a little egg, like inside a roll cage, and then the motor's behind it.
Okay.
Christ, they used to have motors in the front back in the old days, but then a few of them blew up and people.
Right.
So obviously that whole like setup with the motor and the cockpit's like really strong in that area, but everything in front of the cockpit, that's just flimsy shit. And it's designed to, like, if you fucking crush something, that it all just crumbles.
Right.
Because they found that's better. So if you watch and the one dude was kind of describing it, she actually gets kind of sideways because she started to go to the center line. Obviously, people that watch Drag Race across the center line, you lose.
Yeah.
So,
hey, why don't you slow down and take a breath? Every 2 seconds. Kind of annoying.
Is that a fat joke?
No, it's a breathing joke. It's not even a joke. It's just a chill. Slow down. Take a breath. You disgust me. Anyway,
so she...
Dude, we only got a limited time on this battery.
I know. Fucking stupid. Anyway, you got me self-conscious about the way I breathe, though.
Good. Think about things.
So the dude was like, she kind of gets towards the center line, and like you can turn them, but they're not, like, you can't fucking, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
it's too thin. It'll just like tip and...
Yeah, so she tries to force it back at 320, I think they said. And
no big deal.
Yeah, right. As she's turning it, she's kind of sideways, and she's going that fast. The wind gets up underneath it, and then kinked it because the conditions yesterday were really shitty, like super cold, really windy.
It's tough to race in cold weather. Your tires just don't heat up.
Yeah, because they kept talking about it. So she was getting...
Where was it?
That I don't know. I don't remember.
Because the Intercontinental GT Challenge, which does like...
I can actually find it real quick.
I think it's like 6 or 7 races, basically one at each continent, essentially.
Right.
Minus like the 2 cold ones. They raced down in Indy as the American version, or the American race, the Indy 8 hours, and I mean they were in torrential downpours in cold weather, like they were all in blankets because it was cold and rainy and windy. So, I'm sure they're probably Midwest.
Worldwide Technology Raceway
That's
in Illinois.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the Midwest National. So
Midwest, bitch.
She starts losing traction, and then veers towards the center line. So now she lost the traction. Now she's trying to turn it back. She's still going fast. Boom, wind catches it, kinks it. Cockpit goes fucking flying. Parachute auto deploys to try to slow the bitch down, and then when it finally comes down, it comes down behind the other guy in the other lane, so the other guy was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was, I mean, she got right out. It was kind of like...
It's a crazy video.
Yeah, but if you saw her, like, afterwards, she was kind of just, like waving people away, like, kind of just, like, give me a second, because that was a ride. She went up, it kinked it, and then she, like, spun in the air, and then came down, luckily, like, on the back wheels and shit, but... Motor was fine. I didn't think the motor blew up. I didn't really catch that. I think the car just, the frame just gave out. Yeah. Like, something caught it.
It folded as if, like, it was when you see a boat sinking, a ship
Yeah.
sinking, and it just because of the weight of the and the pressure of the water, it just
I think it just got, with it being as windy as it was, kind of sideways. Like, I think it was just enough to.
and, I mean, just the G-force on the car alone would have
Yeah.
done it.
So, and of course, now when you hit the ground, the minute you hit the ground, you got chutes that pull out. So, like, you're fucking, it's quite a ride. Like, you need a minute to collect yourself after that one.
Yeah.
So, she's good. Everything's good.
You're already going 200 or 300 plus miles an hour. Like,
Yeah, can you imagine that, dude? You're going down, and then all of a sudden you just see the front end start to bow up, and you're like, oh shit.
Rip.
Like, if you watch footage of a normal drag car going down, like, the middle bows as it is.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how it is because they're so long and shit. But if it just must have twisted enough for it to catch it and then just snap-a-roo, and then she's like, all right, going for a ride. Whee! Fucking. Yeah, that was nuts.
That's crazy. All right, let's do the questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first one's for you.
As always.
It's from Kluge. As always.
If it's about fantasy, I'm a fucking...
No. I have a question about fantasy for me. So that's great.
Yeah.
He said, what's brown and sticky?
My shit?
A stick. Agreed. It hurt my head.
Kluge, that was such a dad joke.
Yeah, it was. He's a dad, so
You're such a dad.
he also asks, what is life? And I'm gonna say it's either racing or a bunch of cells or something, right? Get it?
Yeah.
Racing's life, or cells are actually life.
Yeah.
That was lame. I'm sorry.
What is life?
What is life, baby? I know that's what is life, but
Squeak.
oh, squeep. Squeep is life, eh?
Yes. Sweep.
Interesting.
Sweep and gaming, because I'm a gamer.
All right, and then
And my girlfriend. Can't leave that out.
nice. He then asks, "How's fantasy going for you?" Not going great, man. I mean, it's fine. I'm 2-1.
Your boy's about to be 2-2. Let's go.
But yeah, got hurt. My guys got hurt, so rough.
Boy Tom got bent
Eric,
over.
I didn't get bent. Shut your mouth. Eric asks, "How has unsportsmanlike driving increased over the years with increased safety for drivers?" Yes, because most of the time, whenever you increase rules, the increase of those rules being broken is also like because those weren't rules, so now all of a sudden they're rules and they're being broken. So I would say yes, and it's pissing more people off that like this whole basically kind of to me this is kind of leads into like that the yellow line thing, which we'll also have another question for that. There's a rule that came into play about the yellow line. People either aren't used to the yellow line, which they should be because I think it's been around for a while, or I mean, rules are generally broken at some point. There's always a rule that's been broken.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I've always said this about sports in general. Like, if you don't ride the line of breaking the rule, then you're not actually performing as well as you could.
Right, especially if other people are doing that.
Yeah.
And we saw that with Denny Hamlin and him essentially breaking a rule, but getting away with it. We see that with people brake checking in IMSA. And you don't do that. Like you don't brake
Right, so
check.
he's just saying that like increasing safety around the sport has made
for more unsportsmanlike. So we'll use football as an example. It's really easy to use.
Yeah.
The hitting. You hit a guy. Essentially, to us, what should be correct, like it's correct, and you're hitting him really hard. But
yeah, they've implemented a bunch of crackbacks and shit like that.
It's that. It's saying they've added more rules to keep that player safer.
Yeah.
Does that and now all the first 2 years of the new hitting rule?
Oh, there was fines everywhere.
There's fines. There's penalties all the time.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying absolutely 100%. The more rules they introduce, the more people are breaking them because they're either not used to it, they think it's stupid,
or they just think it's bullshit. Yeah, that's my thing. Like,
absolutely.
I know James Harrison there just
He ate people.
he didn't like the rules and didn't give a shit if he was getting fined, so he just fucked people up. Like, he didn't care.
I'm gonna hit you the way I was trained to hit you all through my entire.
Yeah. Or like Vontaze Burfict, he's a scumbag.
No, that's a different level.
He's a scumbag.
That dude just hits people to hurt them.
Well, but that's my point to say, like,
James is just like this. That's a stupid rule. I'm gonna play football.
Yeah, so there's that, but then there's him, who he's just a scumbag. That's just I'm gonna break the rule because I wanna, which is like, yeah.
So definitely 100%. Like, though, again, we'll go into. I like the brake checking. Juan Pablo understands that anytime that a car is rear-ended, generally the car that did the rear-ending, so Juan Pablo gets rear-ended by the Wayne Taylor car.
Yeah.
Even though Juan Pablo brake checks them.
It's the guy that hit him.
The Wayne Taylor car gets in trouble for it.
Yeah.
And he kind of played them.
Oh.
They won't admit, no one will ever admit that, right?
Right, but you can manipulate the rule a little bit.
He knows that it's going to mess up their race. And then, it's just like, it's annoying. But yes, I would say yes. The more rules that are introduced, the more unsportsmanlike penalties that follow. And then the last one is from Mr. Mullen. Was that Denny Hamlin pass an accidental pass around a crash or a cover-up so he could go below the yellow line. And I'm saying it's so he could go below the yellow line. Because he claims that it was, and I think even NASCAR claims that it was because of the crash. He was avoiding a crash, avoiding this or that. There wasn't really a crash. Now, DiBenedetto had forced Byron down, your boy, Willie B. Down below the yellow, and sparks were flying. Like, he hit, like, it's a pretty big angle.
Yeah.
And he hit the yellow and sparks and all that stuff. But they both came back up the track. Hamlin, around the same time, went below the yellow and just stayed. And then went back up as it got flat. He didn't go back up until
right away.
Yeah, and he passed people doing that. So when Josh says, do you think it was a cover-up? Absolutely. It was a way for him to excuse that he went under the yellow and passed people and won that way. Because he was fifth or sixth when the crash started. Or something like that, fourth.
Here's an unrelated question. So you said that my boy didn't make the playoff cut?
Yeah.
They still race?
Yeah.
They're just not racing for anything?
Yeah, so it's not like most sports where if you lose the playoffs, you're done.
Yeah.
They need the field still.
Okay.
So they just have you racing, but you start behind the other drivers.
So you're just like there to fuck with them? I would just fuck with them.
Yeah, maybe not fuck with them, but you're there to race, and you still get wins and money. Like, you're still racing for money every race.
Right.
And a lot of people who aren't in the playoffs are racing for jobs for next year.
True. Well, yeah, because you got to keep it. You got to give an incentive. So Matty D's not in it then, right? So a guy that didn't even make the playoffs would have won the race.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
He technically finished second, but they stripped him of the second and made him. I think he's the last person on the lead lap because of his forcing the people down to the yellow penalty.
Okay.
It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah. So so you could not place in what you cross the finish line in? Is that what you're saying?
Due to penalties, yeah. But that's just like any other thing. Like, the Patriots got stripped of certain wins because they cheated.
True.
The wins? Yeah.
That's true.
Anything like that. But, yeah, it's a cover for sure. He just wanted any sort of excuse to go below the yellow, and which, if you're racing for a win, absolutely anyone would do that.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that they allowed it and played it off like he wasn't trying to do that. He was.
Well, they're always going to say it's in the name of safety.
Yeah.
And he's trying to be safe. And you know that nobody's going to argue that. I mean, the people are going to argue that, but they're not going to be able to win that argument.
Right. You can't win against safety.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. There was a few accidents that were car slipped in this race, too. It's crazy.
Nice.
You should follow NASCAR on Instagram. They should play all the wrecks on their Twitter.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want the wrecks.
Yeah,
not because I'm morbid and I want to see people wreck, but it's because
that's the entertainment value.
Yeah, that's like you don't watch hockey to watch hockey. I watch hockey to watch people get haymakers.
I watch hockey.
Okay, well, you're a loser. So
Go Sabres. Okay.
go Bills.
Ew.
I don't like the Bills.
I don't hate the Bills. They're like my second team.
Okay, so here's my deal with that. Just a little quick aside. I don't mind the Bills. In fact, I'd like to see them do well.
Same.
I don't think that they're Super Bowl capable.
They'll choke.
I think Josh Allen's overrated.
No.
I definitely think he's overrated.
He's underrated. This dude still isn't considered a top 5 quarterback. But Patty Mahomes is, who's done everything that every other quarterback has ever done.
Dude, Patty Mahomes is the only reason why he's the way he is because he pinched that fucking $800 trillion deal.
$46 million a year.
Yeah, that's the only reason why he's getting the hype he is. But he's
been getting hype before that when he was like, "Ooh, I threw a sidearm pass." Aaron Rodgers has been doing that for years.
Dude, even him and Lamar Jackson, they're not in the headlines as much this year
because they ain't playing as good.
Yeah. So anyway, but no, I
notice how quickly Lamar went from MVP to, yikes, I'm not doing so well.
Yeah, he really isn't doing that great.
They aren't playing horrible, but they're not playing the quality that they are meant to be.
Yeah. Anyway, I was getting
Trash.
at all of that about the Bills, but the reason why I struggle to like them is because I don't like their fans.
The Bills Mafia.
Yeah, and that's a dig.
Yeah, they're assholes.
That's a dig to my girlfriend, who is.
Is she a fake Bills Mafia?
No, she likes the Bills because of the fans. She doesn't actually.
What?
Yeah, it's weird. She just likes watching people do stupid things, which I can attest to is funny. It's entertaining.
Yeah, but it doesn't make me like a team.
But I hate the Bills. But it's watching them do stupid shit is funny. But the reason why I hate Bills fans is because like now that the Bills are doing even remotely good, oh my god, the Bills are the best team in the league. Shut the fuck up. No, they're not.
So what's cool about the Bills is that they're very loyal. Right?
Yeah,
you have probably the most loyal fan base.
Oh, it's got to be.
But it's
sucked for 20 years, and now all of a sudden you're doing good. And you're like, oh,
they go 2-0, and even like the past 3 seasons they've gone 2-0 at some point, and they're like, Super Bowl?
Yeah, stop, get out of here.
You guys need some work. This year is probably their best year so far, I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. We have no idea what COVID's going to do to it. We have no idea what anything's going to happen with the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know if that's. I don't know if. Yeah. Anyway,
it's such a weird year for football.
Yeah.
Injuries, COVID, just all of that together.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to see, but it's their best chance, I would say, over the past like 20 years. Right?
Yeah. I mean, they might. I definitely think Josh Allen's overrated. I do not like him.
He's not. You can't say he's overrated if he's not getting.
That is all I've heard
from Bills people. Maybe, sure.
He's all over fucking Sports Center, and
he's not though. He's
throwing,
still not.
He was throwing his 300-yard game not this week, but last week, the week before, well, whatever the fuck.
I mean, he's done I think 4 weeks of 300+ yards.
Okay, so there you go. Everybody, ooh, okay, no, he's not.
When's Ben done that?
Huh?
Oh, he hasn't.
He doesn't have to. Taking them dubs. That's all that matters.
You're ignorant.
He's surgical.
No.
He doesn't need 300 yards.
The difference between Allen and
Ben needs
Mahomes.
to get the fuck out.
Yeah, he does. He's too old.
He's old.
Mahomes does the crazy side pass or whatever.
Or the 80-yard zinger.
Yeah. Allen does the same thing, but the hype level is very different. The hype level of Mahomes is $40 million a year. Right? The hype level of Allen's like, we'll keep you.
Yeah, okay, but you do have to admit there's stupid shit Allen does that Mahomes doesn't do. There's some dumb shit.
So does Mahomes. Like,
well,
every
everybody
quarterback
does dumb
that
shit.
That was the stupidest thing you've ever said.
I understand that, but I'm saying like the amount of dumb shit or like the gravity of the stupid thing that you just did doesn't really like
what?
Well, okay, I was watching the game last night and he got sacked for 15 yards. He went negative 15 yards because he wouldn't get rid of the ball.
Mahomes has done that too.
Stop it.
Every quarterback has ever. You can't tell me that no quarterback has never taken a sack.
I'm not saying.
So don't say that.
None of them have. I'm just saying that it just seems like the volume to which that this is happening is less for Mahomes and more for Josh Allen. Josh Allen needs work.
This kid's stupid. Anyway, what's your movie?
It's actually a show.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a show.
Good or bad?
Very good. Big fan.
Okay, I got 10 minutes. So.
Van Helsing
I've heard a lot of good things about that.
is A1. I just wish it wasn't on regular TV, so it's not a season behind. Because shows that are on regular TV, like the new season's going to be released on regular TV this year, and they just released the last year's season on
so you got
Netflix.
a year before you have to.
Yeah. But they just came out with season 4 on Netflix. Season 5 is their 5th and final season. It is coming out back on TV, and then they're going to put it on Netflix.
It's a vampire and werewolf stuff, right?
No, just vampire.
Just vampire.
It's like if it's everything The Walking Dead should have been. It's post-apocalyptic shit, except not zombies, vampires.
Okay.
But the difference is Van Helsing, 5 seasons. Walking Dead, 450. That's the difference.
But it's probably quality. The quality level of those 5 seasons are 12 times the quality level.
Because it doesn't beat the shit out of the same thing.
Like zombie killed my brother.
Yeah, like it's so
annoying. I hate The Walking Dead.
But it's the same concept of The Walking
overrated.
Dead. Yeah. It's the same concept of The Walking Dead where they have, as the show progresses, you have multiple different groups of people.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Game of Thrones did that, where you like follow this group for a little bit and then this group, and so it kind of does that. But the story is pitched around post-apocalyptic. Okay.
Today, Junior.
Post-apocalyptic vampires rise, and the show, just like a brief overview, the show just kind of opens up, and this woman who is unconscious in the first season is being watched by a military dude, and a bunch of other people like kind of are there. Like they were in the area and they started beating on the door like let us in, and then they let them in. So then the whole first season is like they're in a hospital protecting this girl. They don't know why. They know nothing about her. And then they're all just kind of there. And I don't remember exactly, like, even the end of the first season, but it comes out that she's a big fucking deal. And the government knew she was a big deal.
Yeah.
So they sent military to protect her when they call it the Rising, when the Rising happened. Darkness falls. And, like, I think what actually happened is, like, a volcano erupted, but that, like, sparked it where it blanketed the sky so the vampires could go out. Like, there's still sun and shit, but it's not as, and it's very like, it's not like traditional vampire, like fucking sharp teeth, running around. They kind of look and act like zombies. They're very like just zombie-like,
non-coherent.
Yeah, and they're just going out there biting people's necks and turning other people into zombies. But long story short, you find out that this girl, she could change people back.
Oh.
From vampire.
That's cool.
And then it just comes out later that she is a long descendant of the Van Helsing family.
Which makes sense.
Which famous vampire hunters hunted Dracula, the whole nine. And then the story just seemed like it was like really kind of simple. Like the whole first season, like I said, was in the hospital and they just kind of went. And then they took off. Like they did such a good job diving just balls deep into like Van Helsing lore. It was really cool.
Yeah. What are you rating it?
You know what? It's probably up there in my top shows. I mean, it's definitely, that's an A4.
A4.
Because I have that. I have like that. Sopranos. Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones up until season
7. Fucking Breaking Bad. Like those are like 4 or 5 top shows that I'm,
shit.
Like big shows for me. So it's definitely up there. I like it better than Lucifer.
Interesting. I'll have to watch it.
Yeah. I mean, Lucifer's got a different, like a unique vibe to it, but I like it better than Lucifer.
Okay.
House of Cards was another phenomenal show. Unfortunately, Kevin Spacey
had to be a scumbag.
Yeah, he had a tough road with that one, but
so I watched Guns Akimbo.
Nice.
With Radcliffe, Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched Nerve?
No.
It's like this society, I shouldn't say society. This group of people like creates a game out of killing people and beating them and stuff like that.
No.
So this one dude, he creates this for Guns Akimbo. He creates this thing called like schism or something like that, and it's basically where he's like, hey, you're a criminal. I'll find a way to expunge your record if you win 3 games, which is essentially killing the other person
Right.
3 times. So Daniel Radcliffe gets caught up in it because he's one of those internet trolls.
Yeah.
Because he's just sad about his life.
Yeah.
They screw on 2 guns, like literally bolt it to his hand so that he can't take them off. Like they're just attached to his. It's one of those stupid,
Yeah. Seems
just like overly violent movies.
Yeah.
But the girl from Babysitter's in it.
I
was trying to figure it out because they like dressed her up to be like a real scumbag.
the actual babysitter.
Yeah. So she got like teeth missing and stuff like that, and
yeah.
just like dirty. And I'm like, oh, she looks so familiar. Oh my god, it's her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do that where you can figure it out, or do you have to look it up? I have to look people up.
For the most part, I can figure it out.
I have to look people
I'm really,
up.
but that's movies are my thing. Like, I'm in love with movies.
Like I know that this person was in a movie, but I just have to
there's a
look it
lot
up.
of like smaller, like in shows I have to do that a lot because it's most of the time shows aren't really famous people. They're more of like the.
Well, it just happened in the
One of the
season of
shows.
Van Helsing where one of the characters is Lucifer's mom,
Oh really?
the actress. But
Yeah.
she looks weird because she's a vampire.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to spoil it because you might watch it. But I'm like, is that...
Yeah.
Like her mouth looks familiar, like her cheek, like her face structure looks really familiar.
Yeah.
And I looked it up and I was like, bam, got it.
Yeah. But it ends up being basically like just a really violent thriller,
Yeah.
as most of those types of movies are. But it was good. It kept me interested.
Yeah.
I'd give it like a 7-8. It was good.
Okay.
It was fun to watch.
Okay.
Then I started watching The Spy Who Dumped Me with Mila Kunis.
Interesting.
Couldn't finish it. It was
Interesting.
shit.
She's got some weird movies.
They just try to be too funny and stupid. Like
Yeah.
too like playing the overly dumb person.
I'm waiting for
Dumb.
Borat subsequent movie film.
Talk about stupid.
Oh, baby, that is going to be gold.
It's such a long title. But
It's dumb.
We
Like
can
that's
talk about that next. Yeah.
very nice.
So that's all for this week. Thank you all for watching. They will get longer. I have to get a longer cord. That's
Yeah,
all.
we're trying to keep the audio and video together, and that camera only gets us 45 minutes.
So you don't see Tom sucks every episode.
That was really
but
funny.
Thank you all for listening. Go check out the hwracing.net store.
Sponsors
just-
Rapid Fire.
Oh, before we go in, Rogue dropped a new flavor.
Oh,
Apple.
caffeine?
Apple Extreme. Apple Extreme.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, it's sweet.
I need extreme, so I'm going to get some.
I want to try it. Rogue Energy HWR 2020, all caps.
Ojo, those bags and shit.
That was great. That was GoPro. Thanks for filming with us.
Big party sound for them fire beats. That's going to sound like shit.
That sounds awful.
It's going to sound like shit.
Pavilion Machine and Tool. You rock. The truck came in. Everybody.
Sweet.
I'll have like a slow mo like spinny thingy of it. It'll be cool.
It's just going to be my hand fucking turning it.
That's the slow mo.
Yeah.
Falcon. Love you. Love you. Thanks.
I love every member of the team, including Falcon.
He actually really hates Shep. Wait, you're Shep. Okay, bye.